Hello and welcome to Geology Concepts. Today we are going to discuss a very important topic for your upcoming UPSC Combined Geoscientist examination, mains examination that is going to be held on 22nd of June this year, right? So we will be discussing about how to revise whatever you are studying till now, how to revise them effectively is something that we are going to discuss today, right? So revision, as you know, is a very important and crucial part of your mains examination and answer writing. So we will discuss certain tricks and tips so that you can effectively revise whatever you are studying till now, right? So this is the time to consolidate whatever you are studying. This is actually the last month is there. So this is May is the very crucial month where you should consolidate whatever you are studying till now, right? So with that, let's proceed. So before we understand why, what are the tips and tricks to effectively revise, you should always know why revision is crucial, right? First thing first, there is a plethora of information in terms of your papers that you are going to write in your mains examination. So there are paper 1, 2, 3 and also the hydro paper if you are appearing for the hydro geologist as well, right? So there are 4 papers and 5 topics in general for each paper. So 20 topics, which is a lot of topic that you have to cover in a very short time span, right? So there is a short time span and you have to study a lot of things. So whatever you were studying till now, if you are not effectively revising what these 20 topics in general, then whatever you are studying is actually worthless because you will not be able to replicate them in the actual exam, right? So if you are not able to replicate anything in the actual exam, then this is a waste of time, because if you are not revising and not writing answers whatever you based on whatever you have studied till now, then it's a waste of time, right? And since there is plethora of information, revision becomes very crucial to retain whatever you are studying, right? And by revision, what you effectively do is to divide the syllabus into shorter parts and then you rule them, right? You effectively remember them, right? So this is the divide and rule principle where you divide the whole syllabus into shorter targets to revise, right? And you can effectively revise them. So if you effectively revise short targets, then it is easier to cover all these 20 topics in a short period of time. So that is why divide and rule is a crucial part of revision, right? And also if you are doing the revision in a standardized format or doing it regularly, then active recalling becomes very easy, right? What is active recalling? So whatever you are studying, then you whatever you are studying till now, you can actively recall where you are missing or where you are forgetting certain information, and you can always go back and revise and remember them effectively, right? So that's why active recall is a very important part of your revision and also the mains answer writing journey. So आपको क्या करना है? आपको actively recall करना है, and for that to happen, you have to revise them in a regular interval, right? And if you are doing all these things, if you are revising them effectively, you are going to perform better in the actual exam. So this becomes a very virtuous, very effective cycle or a virtuous cycle in terms of your answer writing journey, right? Because there are a lot of information, you are breaking them into smaller targets, then those smaller targets are easy to actively recall, right? And if you can follow all these steps, it is there is 90% chance that you are going to write better answers in the exam, right? 100% मैं नहीं बोल रहा हूँ because there is always some variability. So 90% chances are there that you are going to write very good answers in your exam because you are doing the revision part in a very standardized format, right? Now let's talk about how to go about it. So these are certain tips for effective revision. The first thing that you need to do is you should not resort to rote learning, right? There should be no rote learning. मतलब definitions, examples, and the concept should not be crammed, right? You should always remember them from conceptual point of view. Remember them conceptually, right? इतने सारे information है, there is a lot of information and you have to remember them all. And if you are not understanding the underlying concept behind those particular topics, then if you are only cramming them, there are such chances that you are going to forget it under the pressure of the examination. अगर आप एक बार उसको भूल गए, there is a very high probability that you are going to miss the whole question in the exam, right? So do not resort to rote learning, rather practice to understand the underlying concepts with examples, with definitions, so that you can back them up whenever you feel that you are forgetting certain concept in the actual exam, right? तो rote learning नहीं करना है, हमको concept समझ के आगे बढ़ना है. First thing that you need to do, right? Second thing is you should practice retrieval, regular interval. By what do I mean by that? That means whenever you are completing a subject, take at least 15 to 20 minutes after each chapter to go through that subject again. In that time, in that 15 to 20 minutes time, you need not look at the book or whatever your study material again. Just उसको बंद करो and आँख बंद करके you should close your eyes and recall them. And by doing this exercise, you will be able to understand which particular concepts or parts you are easily remembering, and what you are going to forget, right? What you are forgetting and what you remember, you will be able to easily identify them. Once you do this, you will be aware of your weaknesses and strengths, right? So this will be easier for you to revise, क्योंकि जो weaknesses है you have to revisit them, जो strengths है उनको बस overlook कर सकते हो. So by doing this, you are going to effectively revise your material in a short span of time. Now, as I said, I have been saying it again and again that 3 rounds of revision are very crucial, right? So these 3 rounds of revision can be spaced out into 3 parts, right? Instantly, like I said, after you finish a topic, instantly revise it for 15 to 20 minutes and see what you are being able to remember and what you are forgetting, right? Based on that, you are going to revisit those concepts again and strengthen them as far the exam is concerned. After this, you should always go through the same material again after a 1 week period. 1 week period में आप Saturday, Sundays, you can take out Saturdays or Sundays one day and then revise that part again. And also after 2-3 weeks, on the last week of the month, you can also revisit that. After a month, you should always revisit that part again. So IWM approach, which is to space out your overall revision pattern into 3 formats or 3 rounds of revision, right? So if you are doing it, I guarantee you there is a high probability that whatever you are studying till now, you will be able to effectively remember them and actually replicate them in the actual exam, right? And also you should not stick to one topic a day. This is my suggestion. If you are okay with one topic a day, it's good. But if you ask me, I'll say blended study is a way to go about it, right? मतलब 2 topics a day. That means you should go through 2 topics a day. 1 topic a day का क्या problem है? When you are going through 1 topic a day, there are chances are there that you are lost in that topic. उसको ही deep में पढ़ते जा रहे हो. There are no interlinkages that you are making. So interlinkage is also very important. क्योंकि जियोलॉजी में ऐसे सब्जेक्ट्स हैं that needs to be interlinked, like mineralogy, igneous, metamorphic, stratigraphy, paleontology, right? So all this economic geology, Indian mineral distribution. So all these topics have to be interlinked. So 2 topics a day which are interlinked in nature. By doing that, what will happen? First thing is that you are going to identify the pattern and the trend. क्या pattern आ रहा है? Exam में किस topic से कैसे pattern आ रहा है and how you can interlink them with other topics. That is something that you need to do, right? That's the first thing that you can identify if you are doing the blended study pattern. And also the second thing is that it is easier to complete the syllabus within a short period of time क्योंकि बहुत सारे parts are repetitive in nature. For example, geochemistry में जो coordination वाला part है, isomorphism, polymorphism, all these things are also in your mineralogy syllabus. So if you're blending them together, you don't need to again revisit that part in the geochemistry portion, right? So that's why I'm saying that blended study routine is an effective way to revise things because it helps you to identify pattern and trends in the question paper, as well as it helps you to effectively cover and holistically cover the syllabus within a short period of time. So that is why I'll say that you should go about 2 topics a day. हाँ 3-4 topics a day मत करना because that becomes messy. 2 topics a day is a good thing which are interrelated in nature, right? Lastly, there are certain additional tips that I want to give you. That I said example based study is an effective way to go about it. Whatever you are studying, you should always think of the examples. For example, if you are studying environmental geology, right, then think of the examples. What examples you can give, like the Uttarakhand flood, in the flood geomorphology or geology of floods in your syllabus is there. So Uttarakhand फ्लड के बारे में आप एग्जांपल्स लिख सकते हो. सो एंड अर्थक्वेक में आप एग्जांपल्स ऑफ टर्की, जापान, राइट, लाइक दिस यू कैन मेक योर आंसर्स डायनामिक एंड योर content a holistic content. Then ideation is a very important part of your mains revision, right? Whenever you are going through a particular concept, chapter or topic, always think in terms of answer writing, right? Because at the end of the day, the idea and the purpose of studying for mains is to write good answers in your exam. So if you are not able to think and learn answer writing, or think in terms of answer writing, or think how to convert that content into effective answers, then the purpose is getting defeated here. So ideation is a very important part. Whenever you are done with a topic, you should go back and write, think them as a part of your answer writing. And how do I go about that? By optimizing, by giving tests and reviewing those tests. In the last video, I have talked about how to self-evaluate your answers. You can watch that anytime. You should give tests from test series like Geology concept ka test series आप दे सकते हो, or you can go through your PYQs. And after going through this test and PYQs, you should write whatever particular subject you have finished answer writing format, and review those answers and identify what are your strengths and weaknesses, right? The area where you are struggling, you should use the pattern of mnemonics, right? Like stratigraphy, paleontology, Indian mineral distribution, all these parts can be covered by mnemonics, right? Mnemonics भी बनाना तो इतना मत बनाना है कि आप भूल जा रहे हो बाकी के mnemonics. Where you are struggling to remember things, there you can use different mnemonics to identify the to effectively remember them, and you can replicate that in your exam as well, right? And also please practice free recall, because आपको जब भी free time मिल रहा है, you can sit down and recall certain chapters or topics that you feel that you should effectively revise, because you have a tendency to forget them, right? जो chapters आप easily भूल जा रहे हो, उनको free recall के through याद करते रहो before your exam. But if you are doing all these things, I can assure you, you will be at a very comfortable position than the rest of the 90% aspirants, right? So do this effectively, revise your study, revise whatever you were studying till now, effectively consolidate them in the last month of May, and you will be able to write good answers in this upcoming combined geoscientist exam. And the last thing is, many people are now confused that what do we need to revise? So for that, a simple answer is, everything needs to be revised. There is no certain part that you can miss and expect a good mark in your exam, right? Because there are very few limited seats this time, 30 or 40 seats are only there. So you are fighting for, the competition is very steep. So you cannot skip anything. So everything is important as far as the exam is concerned. But I would say, last year trends has to be analyzed once. Whatever the important chapters that are asked in your previous year questions, those patterns have to be identified, and then you should emphasize them more than the rest of the topics. But that doesn't mean you can skip any topic, right? You should read and revise everything, but give more importance to the trends that you can identify from the PYQs, which are asked multiple times in the consecutive years, right? So this is something that you need to do in terms of what to revise everything, but focus more on the PYQ trends, and also ensure that you are before you go to the examination hall, 3 rounds of revision are complete, and you are effectively writing answers for whatever you have studied till now. If you are doing this, I'm assuring you that you are going to write very good answers in this examination, in this upcoming combined geoscientist mains, and I'll ensure you that you can easily crack this exam, right? So with that, I hope you have learned something useful today, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.